Hi everyone! Look where we are. Wow! We are in the redwood forest on vacation, and this morning we're gonna have a little photo shoot. Jessie is going to be acting as the photographer of this situation. Obviously, since I don't know anyone here, we're on vacation, I am going to be the model. I did just like a kind of a subtle like eyeshadow thing. I used my Lorac Pro Fairy Tale Forest palette, which I am so excited about because I barely ever get to use it. But I thought that it would be perfect for this because we're literally in a fairy tale forest. Underneath my jackets and stuff, I am wearing this really cute green top with embroidered flowers and butterflies all over it, and I paired it with a skirt. I didn't really want to wear leggings underneath this skirt, but it seemed like the right thing to do in a bug-infested forest. And it's pretty chilly out too, so it works. And then I also have this little gold strawberry necklace and these like moon kind of gold earrings. But I think what really pulls the whole vibe of this morning together is something that you actually cannot see on camera or in the photos, and that is this Dossier perfume. And yes, I'm going to talk about Dossier again because they were so kind to send me this perfume and I love it so much. This perfume is called Woody Peony and it smells so good. It smells floral but also just like the woods, just like a mossy, oaky forest, and that is so perfect for today. If you guys don't know about Dossier, they're a really cool perfume company that basically makes perfumes inspired by designer brands that are way too expensive, and they make them like dupes of them for a very affordable price. And they also use like eco-friendly, sustainable, vegan, cruelty-free ingredients. So they're a really cool company. I will leave a link to them in the description box down below if you're interested. But yeah, with that, I think we're gonna get started on this photo shoot. Okay, so I think we're gonna go for this cute little like tree stump. It doesn't look very good on this camera, but on the good camera, I promise this is really beautiful. There's lots of ferns and like good lighting around it, and I think it's gonna be really cute. It's gonna give us like a really soft, blurry background and like a good framing, I think, for this situation. It's gonna make the colors look so good too. All right, so I am gonna hand this camera over to Jessie.
We're all doomed.
Oh wait, let me get, could I use you as an example to get like the lighting settings and stuff right? So this is like the lighting situation that we have on the good camera. As you can see, it looks much better. Okay. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is trying to find what direction the best lighting is coming from. And it looks like actually it's this way, like facing this direction might give us some better light. So we're gonna try some from this way. But I'm just trying to think of like where, because it would be nice to have some stuff in the foreground. So if I were to sit like right there, and then you can shoot from here and get like some of these ferns in the foreground. Do you want to flip out the... Yes. Yeah, okay. Can you do a little closer? What should this hand be doing?
I don't know.
I'm not a model. What?
I mean, like, you have a skirt that you can kind of like tuck it under, I guess. Like,
maybe I should just put it on the ground. A snail! I found a snail! Does that look okay?
I mean, I never know, because I feel like I'm always the one who like puts on like the arms in these photos.
Oh, that's really cute! Wow, these are really good!
Wow, much impressed.
Wow, much impressed.
Such photo.
All right, I think we got some good photos, hopefully, but we'll see how they turned out. Hopefully they're okay. Hopefully I did this beautiful shirt and this beautiful forest justice, and I will see you guys in the editing process. Thanks, Jessie. God, the transition. All right, hello everyone. This is Editing Vanessa, and I'm just gonna like kind of briefly show you kind of how I'm editing these photos. So I've picked out a few of my favorites. So now the first thing that I'm gonna do is just check and see if I have any presets that might be a good starting point to kind of get them looking a little bit closer to what I want them to look like. So I'm gonna select all of them so that the presets apply to all of them, because I want to see how they work in each of the different lighting situations to make sure that I get a consistent edit. So I'm just going to browse through my favorites list. These are some presets that I use pretty often. Most of them are from Lemon & Lace because I bought like the entire website from Lemon & Lace one time because it was on sale. And actually I really like this Fall into the Forest, which is not Lemon & Lace. I don't remember where I got this one, but it's pretty good. But it obviously does need still a lot of adjusting, and this is kind of really where the work comes in. And I handle each adjustment on an individual basis at this point, because every picture is different. As you can see, like these ones are a bit darker, whereas these ones are a bit brighter. I might do all three of these at the same time because they're very similar. So I could come say, okay, we need this much more exposure. I kind of don't like how green this preset is, so I'm gonna up the warmth a little bit just to bring out some like orange and yellow. I might even do some vibrance, maybe bring the highlights up a little bit. Another thing that I usually mess with is the color mixer. So you could say like I want the yellows to be more orange. You can get pretty drastic with it, but I usually just do a little bit. It was dim lighting, so there is a bit of noise, and also I had put way too slow of a shutter speed, so we have a lot of motion blur as well, as you can see. So which was my bad. It is what it is at this point, and we're just gonna do our best. So then I'm just gonna move on to these two photos, which are also the same lighting situation, and just kind of tailor their exposure and warmth and everything to what's gonna make them look the best. I'll be honest, I'm not really feeling the skin tone situation. Like it's kind of very monochrome feeling, like it blends into the background a lot. And I ended up kind of fixing that by going in and selecting just that part that was a little bit dark and a little bit monochrome, and then adjusting the exposure on just that part. And then cleaning it up with a mask to just clean up the edges and make it blend a little bit. So then I'm gonna come to these dark ones over here. And I actually might be able to get all of these at once. We'll see. The exposure is honestly the main thing, because I do tend to shoot very underexposed, because it's easier to lift a picture than it is to darken a picture that was blown out. So my strategy is always to shoot a little bit darker than what I want, and then I have all of the detail that I can bring back out once I get it on the computer. So I'm gonna go ahead, now that I've got all of the like kind of Lightroom, camera raw type adjustments done, I'm gonna go ahead and open them into full-on Photoshop. For me, it's just easier and more natural to use because I've been using Photoshop since I was like a little kid. So honestly, just like a creature of habit thing at this point. The first thing that I'll do is usually do a crop and straighten to make sure that they're not all crooked and stuff like that. And then I'll check and see if there's any like blemishes that I need to spot heal. And I really just kind of do like the minimum here. I don't do like airbrushing of the skin and everything because we don't need the unrealistic beauty standards. And honestly, these don't need very much because they are so motion blurred because I chose such a slow shutter speed. So kind of a win. All right, and then the next thing that I will usually do to liven up a photo is a nice dodge. And this basically just like brightens things, and I'll put it on highlights so that way it's brightening like the parts that are already bright. So it just adds kind of like a glowy effect, and it's not super noticeable while you're doing it. But I try to use a super light hand because afterwards, when you look at the before and after, it can be a little bit dramatic. So this is the difference. You see, it just kind of like adds a little life, a little luster to the photo. Just kind of doing it on the parts that should be a little bit glowy and a little bit shiny, like hair, cheekbones. Sometimes I'll use like a smaller brush and do inner eye corners, or like places where you put highlight. And then once I'm done with that, I am also gonna really quick fix whatever this is in the background. It might be a road sign or something, but we don't want it there. We were right next to a road, but I would like to pretend that we were not, and that we were deep in the hidden forest, far, far away from civilization. So honestly, I think that's looking pretty good. The only other thing that I would usually do to photos would be a vignette. So I'd come in here and do one like this, and it darkens the edges and just kind of adds this like natural framing to it, but the lens and camera that I'm using already kind of have a natural vignette to them, as you can see, so I don't really need that. I think it would be a bit too much. So yeah, honestly, I think that these are the finished products. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and honestly, I had such a fun time like going into the forest and making these. This was such a dream photo shoot for me in the redwood forest and everything, which is a place that has such a special place in my heart because I used to go there with my grandparents when I was a kid, and I grew up in the forest with my grandma and everything. So yeah, it was just really special, and I'm glad that I got to do it. I'm grateful that Jessie is always willing to come on adventures with me and have fun, and I'm glad that I got to bring you guys along on this one too, and I hope it was fun for you. Thank you so much for hanging out and coming on this photo shoot with me. I have a few more photo shoots planned that I'm going to make some videos out of, so keep an eye out for those, and I hope that I'll get to talk to you soon. Bye!